Now moving on, we have not only do we have F1 race in China this weekend, but we also have the women rejoin again for their first 2 races of the season for F1 Academy. And how fun was it? It was fun, of course, but it was also incredibly impressive.
Can you show me, can you scroll down for me in how many? Okay,
18.
we had 18.
Yes.
And 6 of them are returning?
That's exactly what I was going to get at. Because we have 18 drivers on the grid. One of them was a wild card. So we have 17 full-time drivers on the grid joining us for the season. And 6 of them are returning from last season because you can be with F1 Academy 2 years. There's like a clause that you can potentially extend it now.
This is the first year where someone might be eligible
to come back for a third
merits to come back for a third.
Yes, but so we only have 6. So the majority of the field are brand new to F1 Academy. A lot of them have never competed in an open wheel single seater before.
Yes,
and they were competing in China on the Grand Prix, on the grid, on the track where the big boys compete, and there are women on this or girls on this F1 Academy grid that are 16 years of age, so really, really young.
Just to point out, they are not able to, even though in Formula 4 cars, sometimes people are younger, they are not able to, to put anyone younger in there because Formula 1 is like Formula 1 Academy is somehow tied to the FIA where you have to be a minimum age of 16 to
which
compete.
I think is fine.
Yeah, it is just this thing. It's like if it's a feeder series,
yes.
you do eventually want to either lower the age or make it maybe a Formula 3.5 car or something, make it faster or something like that.
That's true because they can be quite old in quotes comparatively.
Yeah.
When they go into the next step compared to people who come out of Formula 4 potentially already, you know? Or, I mean, we have Kimi, which obviously was very young joining F1, or Arvid Lindblad, he's 18, I think he is.
Maybe.
So I'm like, some of the women on this grid are 17 or 18 already, and they still have a long way to go to even potentially be eligible for F1.
Arvid is 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're pointing out with the age thing, but I mean, it was absolutely, the reason why it was impressive is because it was 2 races this weekend. And we were talking about it going into, it's like, oh, how many safety cars do you think we'll get? Just because when people are racing volle Kanone, I would say, like they're fully racing for the first time in a very brand new vehicle in a team that they've had their testing with it, but they haven't had that much time in the actual vehicle. You're competing against each other. Different levels. Some of them come from karting. Some of them come from sports cars. And then you're all on this grid. You're very close together. You're all in the same car, just different types of setups. It can be very tricky. And we've had races before where we had numerous safety cars.
It's like 3 in one race. And there's what is this, a 13-lap race?
I think so, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. It was a 13-lap race. So there's not a lot of time.
Yeah. So about like 29 minutes for the race.
Yeah. So it's just, but this time we had one safety car per race, maybe?
Yeah, we have 1 safety car per race.
Yeah, which is really impressive.
For the first race, it was because of Alba Larsen. She lost part of her front wing, and then they had to pick up the debris. And then in the second race, we had in the Lego car.
Esme Kosterman
hit the wild car She,
yeah.
Unfortunately, and both cars had to get essentially lifted off. But I agree 100%. So well behaved, we called it, because we did definitely have a lot of also lockups in F1.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, this might happen. And once again, like last year, I think the first race of the season, we had, once again, we had so many safety cars. And sometimes it's like, okay, don't recommend going in and watching this race. I would recommend you skip it and watch just the second race, because I'm like, if half of the race is a safety car, like how much can I really recommend this?
Yes.
In this case, I can highly recommend both races.
Yeah.
I think the second race even more so than the first, if you're only able to watch one.
Yeah.
Once again, F1 Academy you can watch on YouTube or on the F1 TV app. I don't know if it is on Apple TV.
It is.
It is. Okay,
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
But it is. It was super fun. It
So
was
fun.
really exciting because we had definitely our like contenders. We were like, okay, these are championship contenders this year, and that is Nina Gardemann. This is Alicia Palmowski. This is Alba Larsen and Emma Felbermeier. And those are. And then we had Ella Lloyd. So we have 5 people technically who are capable based on last year's performance, and I think also the commentators were saying the same thing, are capable of competing for the championship. And I think this weekend we've already had someone really show how well her winter training went, how much time she put in, because last year she was, I think, already a breakout talent. And we're specifically talking about Emma Felbermeier. She came from only karting experience last year, and because the second race is a reverse grid for the top 8, she on the second race a bunch of times she started from the front rows, and she was able to get I think a podium last year. She was overtaken a lot. She had to do a lot of battles and stuff like that because Dorian and Maya were a lot more experienced, because also both of them have raced in other categories, being in their second year. But Emma came out, and she came out fucking swinging this
weekend was absolutely insane. So she now went from the stake sponsored car to now the Audi sponsored car. And yeah, I mean, like we said, we had high expectations of her going into this. I thought for sure Alicia Palmowski and her were going to be like the top, or were my personal favorites.
I have Larsen.
Oh, Alba. Yeah, of course, Alba also. So those are, top 3 for sure. But Emma, just absolutely incredible. She did some really great on-track battling. She took advantage of a restart. I mean, so for the first race, like you said, they have the reverse grid for the top 8. So she started in 6th. She ended up making it all the way up to 3rd, and it was a really tight race for the most part. Like the cars were really, really close together. There was constantly battling back and forth, overtakes, regaining positions. Like you said, we did have one safety car. Nina Gardemann had to do the restart, but she did an excellent restart there. Also, the rookie Natalia Granada, also sponsored by the Iron Dames, she ended up coming in 2nd on her first
Sephora, race. Livery car.
Exactly.
And Beetlejuice.
Yes. And she also had never been in a single-seater open wheel, so incredible result from her. Unfortunately, I think the huge upset was in the second race.
Well, in both races, if you think about it, because she threw it in both.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So Alba Larsen, which was a big favorite going into this.
I think Alba is all pace. She just needs to get maybe her emotions or her like nerves. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, or like a fine
tune. Because she has so much pace.
She's so good. She's so fast, and she does incredible overtakes also in like corners where you don't necessarily expect it. When we also saw it last year, but then this time she did a restart. She was leading the pack, and then she just got a little bit too wide going into
too much speed
going into like before crossing the start finish line to start officially the new lap.
Last turn, going onto that final straight, she had too much speed, went off, and then she dropped back so many positions that put her out of contention in the first race. She hit Emma Felbermeier in the back. That ended up damaging her front ring. That fell off, and then you lose a lot of downforce.
Like immediately, like she's just falling back.
I still think that she can bounce back from this. This doesn't. I mean, we have 6 more rounds, so 12 more races to go. And I still think, but and part of me also really not, I don't love that she didn't DNF. What I do love is that she is so aggressive with it, because in the end, this is what these feeder series are for. If you watch any other Formula 4 race, it is insane. These people are constantly fighting with each other, and they're constantly just sending it. And this is also like, in a way, like, I know we talk about being well behaved, and this is an important learning that wheel to wheel skill. But it is also the thing is like, if you're gonna make a mistake, right? Then it is good to do it in Formula 4.
But then it's also
it is a feeder series, and like people are rookies, people are gonna make mistakes, and this is like something she will have to learn, right? You will have to learn. You're pushing it and pushing it. You need to find when I push it too fast. In this case, she unfortunately threw it away twice.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that will set the precedent for this season.
Well, the thing is, the important thing moving forward is now that she learns from those mistakes.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
she doesn't redo those mistakes. Like, she doesn't do those mistakes over and over again. Because I do agree with you that it is the point of a feeder series, obviously, is to spend as much time in the car as you can to learn, to become better at it. That's a way you can learn how big your car is. Where is your car? So you know how you can place the car into the corner, how much space you have. Is it millimeters? Is it centimeters? Like, how tight it is. And like, it was.
It's 3.7 inches, whatever that means.
But it's like,
I don't think you can even do that in inches. Can you do 3.7, or is it like 3 4/10?
no clue. It's centimeters, millimeters make a lot more sense
Yes,
to me.
yeah.
But
Sorry.
But anyways, I mean, these first 2 races in China were absolutely incredible. I highly recommend anybody who hasn't watched them yet to tune into them. Like you said, the races are like 30 minutes. So it's really, really fast.
This is going to be interesting. Sorry, you just pulled it up.
Yeah.
So is the second race now going to be somewhere else? Because obviously Jeddah is not happening.
But then the good thing is, like you had mentioned in the F1 part of the video, they were able to move a race before. So there might be a possibility, because they don't want to lose the races of F1 Academy because they already have so few races.
So maybe they're not gonna do. I think I would be surprised if they would do an extra track. What I do think is, like, they might add one race in a weekend and another race in another weekend.
Yeah.
I think that's logistically probably easier to do.
Yeah, I mean, because that's
because
what
if
they
the
did
car's already
last year
there,
too. Yeah.
Exactly. Last year they did it for one race. So this year I could be like, oh, maybe they'll do an extra Canada race and an extra Silverstone race.
Potentially,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm just reading the next
No. I get what you're saying.
tracks. But I think that probably will be logistically easier than to be like, well, we have to take the car to a brand new location.
Yes.
All of the people.
Well, because they were supposed to go to Jeddah next, which is the race that's canceled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, this was already a great start into the season for F1 Academy. I'm so excited to see what's coming. I mean, last season we had an excellent competition with Dorian ended up coming in at the top.
Yeah.
Also, this time, Westcott, the new Mercedes livery driver, absolutely astonishing. She's now 4th in the overall championship. I apologize, I didn't remember her from her like wild card race.
The only one I could remember from the wild card actually was she and Pats.
Yeah, because she's German, so we have connection. But yeah, I thought she did excellent. And yeah, I'm so thrilled about this, not F1 Academy season, F1 season. I feel like we're in store for some really great races coming up.
Yes.
So I cannot wait.
Yeah, even though we are going on a little bit of a break. But what I wanted to point out is that Larson is very much in this position now, right? Where I'm not saying like, hey, just send it all the time, because I was like encouraging making mistakes and stuff like that. And I get in F1 Academy, your time is so much less, you know? But what I do also wanted to say is, like, they were talking about it in the during the commentary during the race. It's like Alicia Palmowski, and I think Faber Meyer will also do this thing. It's like last year we saw Dorian won because of consistency. She finished every single race in the points. I think she finished every single race in the top 5, and she was in almost every race on the podium. Maya won more races, I believe, but because she had that one weekend with the technical difficulty, and then of course in Vegas race 1 she just unfortunately just botched it so badly.
So heartbreaking,
so heartbreaking for her. But it is awesome. It is this thing where it's like, we know consistency will get you there, right? So she needs to be consistently now being in the front, right? Because Palmowski and Fabermeyer, they're gonna be competitive, but they're also like, you have to be like, am I going to go send it now into this corner, potentially take both of us out, or am I just going to bide my time?
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say, I am expecting in the next race more from Lloyd. I thought that unfortunately, she didn't qualify that well. So in the reverse grid, she was a little bit further up, but she wasn't. Both times 10th, right? She didn't qualify particularly well.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And then what I was excited to see, Rafael Ferreira, the Brazilian. There's 2 Brazilians, right? But she's or last year we had 2 Brazilians.
Last year we had 2 Brazilians.
I can't remember this year. But she is doing also much better. Last year in Formula 4, she won in Interlagos when she was racing just in that series.
At home?
Yeah, at home. So really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see more of her. Of course, the more of them who are going to be competitive, the more exciting it is. Because in the end, listen, we love Abby pulling, but we don't want an Abby pulling season, right?
No, of course,
It did help Abby, of course, that they didn't do the reverse grid in the second year of F1 Academy. I'm glad that they did bring this back because I think it helps in the feeder series.
I think it's absolutely incredible for this.
Yeah.
And also just to practice leading the race, working through the field for the people who are usually more towards the top of it.
Yes.
So I think this is great. It's not for F1.
No.
But it's for F1 Academy for the purpose of
for F4,
learning.
In F4 they do it, in GB3 they do it as well. So it's like it works in series like this. This is not for the top of the class.
Yeah. No, I agree. But yeah, excellent F1 Academy. Next up, one last thing that we want to briefly talk about.
Yes. So I was trying to watch the Nürburgring race. They had a 4-hour race this weekend, but unfortunately it was canceled due to the fog. So next weekend they have again a race because you have like the Nürburgring like Langstrecken Siese, and they're doing another race next because they only race there. So they have another race next weekend. I'm gonna try to tune in for that again.
Yeah, for their Nürburgring endurance series.
Exactly, which will be difficult because there's 2 other.
It's a lot of
races.
endurance races just on one weekend. I'm like, guys.
Yeah, we have like 2 12-hour races and this 4-hour race. Fortunately, no F1, but we have MotoGP, which if you watch both races is like an hour and a half, which is not too bad.
But so the other thing that I watched this weekend, you watched a little bit of it when I was watching it, was
I had already known the result. I knew who won. So I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I was doing at the time.
Gotcha. I didn't realize that you knew who had won. So basically I'm talking